Hey Hunters, Halozu here for another One D&D video. This time we're going for the Paladin, which will definitely be an interesting one to look over. Uh, didn't change too much as I recall, but oh well. So, channel divinity uses scale up to 4, which is kind of weird actually. And this is the previous version. We're going to be looking at both versions of the Paladin in One D&D, kind of compare them, talk about the best and worst in my opinion. So, yeah, right off the bat, they get 4 channel divinities, which is kind of crazy actually, because that's how much like the druid gets with channel nature and clerics get. So it is a bit high here, but oh well, it works fine. But on the actual features, first level lay on hands. Pretty sure it was about the same as it always was here. Magic action, heal somebody. Yeah. It's nice, but I will also say that, like, as a priest, it's like, I don't really think it should be considered a priest. Because it's more akin to warriors. For me, I've always associated with barbarian and fighter as a tank class, not a healer. Especially because they're a half caster. You don't have the full number of spell slots to be a support class. They also had cantrips here, which was an interesting addition, and it's at first level, so you have all that from first level. Interesting. Cantrips, they're fine. They were cool, but not the most useful per se. But that's a change there. So, lay on hands and spellcasting. Not much, but it's what you got. Second level, Divine Smite is still around. And it's still a feature here. But can only Divine Smite once a turn. And you can't do it the same turn you cast the spell. But I would specify that it's not a cantrip, but it doesn't matter anymore. Could also use it with any weapon or unarmed strikes, which I think is actually cool, because it opens up the door for ranged paladins if you want to. Fighting style, it's fighting style. And you can actually choose any fighting style, which is another interesting thing, that you could do anything with them. Which, it's an interesting thing you could do. But overall, Divine Smite. They also removed the extra damage on fiends and undead, which, fine. It was nice, and cool, but you didn't need it. I mean, it could stay around, but oh well. It's gone. It's fine. Not the biggest loss. Third level, you have Channel Divinity, which is where you get Divine Sense now. Yeah. Not the biggest fan, but it's not like you used it a lot anyway. And then you have a Paladin subclass, which gives you another Channel Divinity, so that's why you only have one. Fifth level, Faithful Steed. You always have Find Steed prepared. And you cast it as an action. And you can cast it once per day without a spell slot. I actually like this, even though it is a spell as a feature. This one feels kind of like, yeah, this thing you could just do before without using spells prepared or spell slots. Yeah, you can do it for free now, which I think is fine. It's not always useful, but it's cool that you can just summon your steed as you need. And of course, you get extra attack here. 7th, Aura of Protection. So you get that at 7th instead of 6th. So you get your subclass Aura before your Protection Aura, which I actually don't mind. But you still get plus Charisma to saving throws. Yeah, this one's kind of silly at times. So yeah, it is what it is. 9th level, Abjure Foes. So you can use a Channel Divinity to abjure anyone. So it's just any foes. And it's only charisma creatures 60 feet. But it dazes and frightens creatures. Or until damaged. But if they succeed, then they're just dazed. Which, it's a cool one. And it's definitely nice that they kind of consolidated everything. It's like, yeah, you just abjure anyone. It doesn't have to be a specific thing anymore. And all paladins get it. So, yeah, it's nice. I would have liked it if this was at, like, an earlier level. Or maybe even just put it here instead of Divine Sense, and then make Divine Sense baseline again, and a different thing. Or use its own resource. It was fine as it was. This, yeah. But this is definitely cool. Yeah, I'm fine losing the some of the channel divinity options for this. It's much cooler. 11th level Radiant Strikes. Still a thing. Still hate it. Where it's an extra D8 Radiant with every attack. Not a fan. And I'm not a fan of just Radiant. Because it's like, yeah, it still kind of feels like we're back in the dark ages of when Paladins are always lawful good. Because, screw that. Albeit the class as a whole being lawful good. I will specify that. But, oh well. 13th, Aura of Courage. Can't be frightened. Boom. And it's while in your Aura of Protection. 15th level, Restoring Touch. Use Lay on Hands to cure more conditions. It's nice to have. 17th level, Aura of Expansion. Aura of Protection is now 30 feet. Perfect. 18th, Divine Conduit. When you roll initiative, you regain a use of Channel Divinity. Because I think it's only daily uses here. Or, well... No, yeah, you got one with a short rest. But, yeah, this... Meh. Hard to care about it, really. So, yeah. But anyway, the Playtest 6 Paladin. That was much better. Though I did actually like how they changed the Paladin smites to actually be bonus actions when you hit. So yeah, it's much nicer. But here, they refined it a bit further. And also, as another note, real quick, they did make it where you could free cast an Oath spell. That will be relevant to a change here. So, Playtest 6 Paladin. First off, you have Weapon Mastery instead of cantrips. Makes sense that they would have it instead. So you just get some Weapon Masteries, even if it's not that great of a feature to get, but oh well. As it is, it's fine. Also, you have way less ways to abuse the heck out of X, which, fine. But, rape your paladins, oh boy. Oh boy, is that going to be silly. But Lay on Hands is now bonus action. Which is a great change if they're going to be considered as a priest, but... Yeah, it's... Oh boy, it's so nice to have that. Because part of the problem with Lay on Hands is you're spending your action to do it. This is so much better, because now you can lay on hands and attack in the same turn. Thank you. This is so much better. But spellcasting, it's spellcasting, just without the cantrips. Paladin Smite. So instead of just Divine Smite, you have 5 different smites, because they didn't want clerics getting them all. Yeah. This, I have mixed feelings about. Because A, you just get 6 spells from one feature. That's a lot of extra spells prepared for free. And it's kind of a band-aid to the fact that maybe we shouldn't give clerics all the smite spells. Yeah, it's stupid. But Divine Smite is now a spell. Thank you. Elegant fix to a problem that has existed forever, which is smite stacking. So now, they all work the exact same way and interact with everything the exact same way. Boom. Perfect, in my opinion. The other problem is getting the other 5 extra. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I doubt it'll return like that, as with the spell list changing back, there will be no need for the other 5 to be here. So you'll just have Divine Smite, which I'm fine with. And also, you can cast 1 each day for free. Which, fair. It's perfect as this way, because, like, you know, you want to free cast a Smite. That's a lot cooler than free cast an Oath spell. And the whole idea was you could cast Smite spells and your Oath spells more often. So they just let you cast your Smite spell for free. It made more sense. Fighting style, still fighting style. Though you're actually limited to choices again. Which, fair. Channel Divinity. Divine Sense is still a thing. As a Channel Divinity, which I'm not a fan of, but oh well. Extra attack, Faithful Steed's still around. Pretty much the same way, which I think was actually kind of cool. It made sense. And Aura of Protection is now before the subclass feature. Fine. And especially because it's all like, it's part of the Aura Protection. So, more elegant wording. Yay. 9th level Abjure Foes. Doesn't have the if they save part, which kind of fair because the Dazed was really good. So it's all or nothing, but hey, it's a short rest thing. Aura of Courage, back to 10th. 11th is Radiant Strikes. Still frickin' Radiant Strikes, and I hate it, but oh well. 14th, Restoring Touch. Can remove all those conditions. 15th, subclass feature. And also, in the previous one, you lost your 20th level subclass feature, and it got moved all the way up to 14th, and then 15th got moved up to 10th. And then Aura Courage and all that got moved back, but oh well. 18th, still Aura Expansion, 30-foot auras, which is nice. It did get delayed a bit, but yeah, not the worst thing. And 20th level subclass feature again, which is pretty cool because I feel like it lets it be so much more epic. Where it's like, yeah, this is your epic form that you take. Let me take a break real quick. Alrighty, moving on to the Oath of Devotion and how it changed. So, of course, we have Oath spells in UA Playtest 4. You get the free cast, which, it was fine here, but I do like the idea that it's on the smites instead, which I think is cooler. I do hope they make it where it's any smite spell, not just Divine Smite in the future, but oh well. Here, I think it tweaked the spells a bit, but you did get, you still have Guardian of Faith, unfortunately, which sucks. But you got Blinding Smite, Staggering Smite, which, not the biggest fan of them being there, but oh well. And your only channel divinity from Devotion is Sacred Weapon, which, fair. Of the 2 to keep, this is the 1 to keep, because the other one was kind of melded into Abjure Foe. So you have Sacred Weapon, which is still Sacred Weapon, giving you big attack roll bonus. Lets you do radiant damage. Shines light. And, yeah. It's a powerful one. 6th level, Smite of Protection. Instead of an aura, so this is a new thing you got where you Divine Smite. You choose yourself or an ally in 30 feet to get temporary hit points, which It's nice, but it's kind of sad that it only works with Divine Smite, like some other stuff does. But, eh. 10th level with the Aura of Devotion, so this got moved way back to 10th. But basically, when in your Aura of Protection, Immune to Charm, simple enough. 14th, Holy Nimbus, is way earlier. And it's just the radiant damage equal to proficiency bonus plus charisma, which actually fine with the proficiency bonus here because it's not just proficiency bonus. And you shine light. Which, yeah. And this also imbues your Aura of Protection for a minute. So, yeah, it's fine. Nothing special. It kind of lacks that coolness factor, but oh well. It functions at least, but it kind of loses that coolness factor that the capstones had before. But playtest 6, what happened? Oath spells got changed around a bit. Notably, your smites got changed, because of course they did. Because those two you just had now, so you get something else instead. So you get freedom of movement, and I believe dispel magic instead. No, actually, you got beacon up dispel magic instead of Aura Vitality as well. Aiden's Zone of the Truth are still there. Yeah, I think everything else is pretty much the same. It's just those 3 got changed out for various reasons. Sacred Weapon. Aura of Devotion is now 7th level, and it's the same. 50th level is now Smite of Protection, and it's any Paladin Smite spell. And it gives you and your allies half cover, which is actually kind of a cool one. I think I like the idea that it gives you cover. The temporary hit points were nice, but I think the cover thing is kind of a... If anything, it kind of feels more like a defensive block thing that kind of fits with Paladin better, in my opinion. And Holy Nimbus is back at 20th, and the Holy Ward is back. But everything else is actually the same. It's epic. You just have the Holy Ward, which you have advantage on saving throws against. From stuff from Fiends and Undead, which, yeah, kind of odd that not much changed. I feel like Holy Ward could be buffed to just be advantage on all saving throws, even if it's not a Fiend or Undead. Just like, yeah, you have advantage on saving throws now while this is active. Boom. So, yeah, it's definitely fine as it is. I think both versions, there's not too much of a difference between them, which I think is kind of down to Oath of Devotion kind of being, it's in a good place, but Smite Protection is a bit further back, but oh well, it's not the worst thing. The other stuff is nice to have anyway. But that has been the Paladin. Not too much to talk about here, because it's not too much changed compared to some classes, and it's a lot simpler to understand. But I hope you enjoyed it regardless, and without further ado, I'll see y'all next time! Halo Zoo, out.